Okay.
16.4, cheeky chipper. So we're going to go through 3 mobility drills, how we get prepped for this one. Biggest thing I noticed with this is there's going to be a lot of hip hinges, which means, especially when we're looking at like the deadlift and the hip hinge that should be doing on the rower, which means that we're going to have adequate hip flexion flexibility. So number 1, a little bit unconventional, but if you've ever seen any of Tom Myers stuff or the anatomy trainers, you'll be familiar with this concept. The superficial backline is a connected line of fascia that runs all the way from the plantar fascia straight at the back through the calves, through the hamstrings, through the back, up to the back of the head. So any restrictions at any point of those in that tissue link will restrict hip flexion. So you're going to grab the ball and we're going to try and accumulate 2 minutes on each foot. And there's nothing too fancy about this one. I'm going to start right, if you zoom in on this one actually, I'm going to start right up at my toes. I'm going to put pressure on, slowly smear across, all the way just in front of my heel bone. I'm going to reset and then go again. So 2 minutes on one side and then 2 minutes on the other one. Next up, we're going to do a bit of a posterior hip capsule mode just to help approximate that hip to the back of the joint so that those muscles are in the optimal kind of length tension relationship when you're going for that deadlift. So the way that looks is this. You're going to start off in a quadruped position. Then, if I'm working on the left hip, it's the opposite leg that I straighten. The leg that I'm working on is then going to externally rotate like this. I'm going to drop onto the same side forearm. And I want to make sure that I'm keeping a gap between my calf and my hamstring. So don't confuse this with that stretch where you sit back. I want to keep that gap preserved. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop onto this forearm. I'm going to drop my body weight through that femur, through that thigh, and then gently oscillate back and forwards. And what you're trying to feel here, if you're doing it correctly, is you should be feeling it in the back of your butt cheek. So you want to totally relax. This isn't going to feel like a muscle stretch because it's not. It's a joint capsule mobilization. So you're going to try and just oscillate in and out of that tension for 2 minutes either side. Then, last but not least, we're going to be doing an adductor mobilization, like an active stretch here. You've got some adductors, adductors at the front, and you've got some at the back. And the ones at the back are what I'm trying to target because they're going to limit that hip bend and potentially take us out of our ideal flat back position that we're trying to preserve when we're deadlifting. So, with that being said, it's important when you do this, and I'll show you the side angle first, it's important when we do this that we're reinforcing that neutral spine position. So rather than me sitting back like this with a rounded back, I'm going to push my chest out. My foot is level with the knee, and I'm keeping the foot facing forward and sole my foot flat down. I'm going to sit back, and you should be feeling it through the adductor there, and then come back up to the top. So gently rock back, and come back to the top. And from the front, that looks like this. So come back, rock back onto tension, and then come back off. And you're going to do 12 to 15 repetitions of that each side. So that's it. Good luck with the chipper, and see you for 16.5.